It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily.
Let's talk about something that comes up all the time. People will buy coffee every day, lunch every day, convenience every day. But when it comes to investing in themselves or their business, whether it's coaching, advisory, systems training, even a simple accountant-led planning session, suddenly it's, I can't afford it. And it's not just money we're talking about, it's time as well. We'll put school pickups, soccer training, and everyone else's commitments into the diary, but we won't put in a 30-minute money meeting to check the financial health of the business that pays for the entire household. So what is actually going on? Is this an Australian phenomenon, or are we just frightened? Today we're unpacking the truth, and we're doing it with compassion and accountability.
Side I run this race.
Welcome to Grit and Grace, where we talk business mindset, well-being, leadership, and the standards that make success sustainable. I'm Donagh, and I'm the creator of the Grit and Grace podcast. And today's episode is about the hidden psychology behind the words, "I can't afford it." We're going to look at why small daily spending feels harmless and yet investment feels scary, why time gets allocated to everyone except the business, and how to shift from avoidance to leadership. And there's no shame, no judgment, and no burnout. So let's get into it. Here's the first thing that I want you to consider. I can't afford it is sometimes true. Many people are genuinely under financial pressure. But very often, I can't afford it is not a money statement, it's a meaning statement. It can mean, I'm actually not sure it will work and I don't want to feel foolish. It can mean I'm scared, I won't follow through, so I'd rather not try. It could also mean I don't want to look at my numbers because I'm worried about what I'll see. I won't commit because commitment creates accountability. I'm exhausted and I'm using money as the explanation why the real issue is actually capacity. Coffee feels safe. Lunch feels safe. Convenience feels safe. Investing in growth feels like risk, and our brains are designed to avoid risk. And even when that risk is the very thing that could help us move forward. So before we talk about the spending, we have to talk about the fear and the avoidance that sometimes sit underneath it. Let's take the coffee and lunch as an example. The reason that daily spending feels affordable is because it's small compared to a larger investment. It's frequent, so it becomes normalized, and it offers immediate reward, gets that dopamine hit. It's comfort, it's energy, it's convenience, it's a moment of relief. And when life feels demanding, when you're running a business, raising kids, managing a household, carrying the mental load, those small comforts can feel like the only thing that is for you. And I'm not here to shame that, but I do want to challenge the logic that says I can afford small comfort purchases every day, but I can't afford a decision that improves my income, my systems, or my peace of mind. Because that often isn't about affordability. It's about what feels emotionally easy to say yes to. Coffee doesn't ask you to change. Coaching, advisory, systems, and financial clarity, they do ask you to change. So I want to name the real fears, because once they're named, they lose power. There's the fear of wasted money. What if I spend the money and it doesn't work? And that's a valid concern. But it's also important to ask, what is the cost of staying the same? If your pricing is too low, if your cash flow is unmanaged, if your boundaries are weak, if your marketing is inconsistent, the cost is theoretical. It shows up as stress, exhaustion, and lost profit. The second fear is the fear of being seen. Investing in your business often means Investing in your business often means being visible. It means asking questions, admitting what you don't know, implementing changes, and putting yourself out there. Staying in the I'm thinking about it mode feels safer than being witnessed doing it. Think like the turtle. The turtle pokes his head out of his shell, gets a breath. When he's at rest, he puts it back inside the shell, and there he stays nice and safe. But he actually needs to keep coming out of that shell and keep putting his head out. That's what we're talking about here, the fear of being seen. The third one is the fear of accountability. And this one is huge. If you invest, you're agreeing to become the person who follows through. And if you've had a history of starting things and not finishing, your brain will try to protect you from the feeling of disappointment by avoiding the investment altogether. So the words "I can't afford it" can sometimes translate to "I'm scared I'm going to fail again." And that is not a money problem. That's actually a confidence and a nervous system problem. And it deserves compassion, but it also needs a plan. Now, when we're starting to talk about time in relation to this profit, we'll put the kids' commitments into the diary, because if you don't, there's an immediate consequence. Upset kids, miss sport, blah, blah, blah. You'll show up to work for your clients, because if you don't, there's an immediate consequence. They don't like you, they don't follow through, they don't pay. But the money meeting, the planning session, the business improvement work, that's private, it's self-directed, and it's so easy to postpone. And here's the kicker, because avoidance has no immediate penalty. The penalty arrives later when you've got the tax bill you didn't plan for, the cash crunch because you didn't get an invoice out, poor pricing because you never examined the actual cost of your products, or burnout. So people wait. They wait until the week is quieter or the week is slower. They wait until things settle down. But businesses don't settle down by accident. They settle down because somebody leads them into stability. And the 30 minutes you won't schedule is often the 30 minutes that would relieve months and months of stress. Now, I was thinking about this and wondering if it was an Australia-only problem. And it's not. It's human. The pattern shows up everywhere because it's not a national trait, it's a human trait. Humans tend to choose immediate rewards over delayed rewards. They avoid uncertainty and they delay tasks that create emotional discomfort. However, we do have some cultural layers here and a strong get on with it mentality, and sometimes a tendency to downplay ambition or keep growth quiet until it's proven. But regardless of culture, the core issue is still the same. We fund what comforts us and avoid what confronts us. And business improvement often confronts us. It confronts your numbers. It confronts your habits. It confronts your boundaries, and it confronts your identity. I want to make this practical and empowering. It's not about buying the coffee. This is not about living a joyous life. It's about making your money and time decisions align with your values and your goals. And there's 3 practical shifts that you can make. The first one is to make a growth budget. It can be modest. Set an amount weekly or monthly, whatever works for your brain, and it's specifically for advisory, coaching, training, systems, or professional support. Because if you wait until it feels comfortable, it's never going to happen. And a growth budget says, I'm the kind of person who invests in capacity. This is the stuff that keeps you in a job as opposed to owning a business. The second shift is to schedule the 30-minute money meeting. It is mandatory. Put it in the diary, same day, same time, same time every week, 30 minutes. It's not negotiable. It's like the school pickup. The agenda can be super simple. How much cash have I got in the bank? What money have I got due coming in the next 7 to 14 days? What money is due to go out in the next 7 to 14 days? Anything that needs action this week, whether it's invoicing, debtors, tax set-asides, pricing decisions, 30 minutes, and that's all it takes. The third shift is a mindset shift, and I want you to replace "I can't afford it" with a better question. Instead, ask yourself, what would make this affordable? What is the smallest step I can take this week? What is this costing me if I don't do it? Am I avoiding this because it's genuinely unaffordable or because it's uncomfortable? And that last question is the turning point, because discomfort is not a stop sign. It's often your signal that you're near growth. So here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Track your discretionary spending. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just notice it. Notice where the money is leaking. Get your diary out right now. Put a 30-minute money meeting in the diary. And then I want you to say, "Yeehaw, I've done it once." Choose one investment in capacity, even if it's small, and your future you will thank you. A business cannot thrive on convenience and avoidance. It thrives on clarity, consistency, leadership. And if you are the person running the business, investing in yourself is not optional. It is the work. Until next time, keep your grit and protect your grace.
In the quiet, before the daylight breaks, I'm drawing lines for my own sake. I've carried more than I let on show, still found a way to learn and grow. With steady hands I set the pace, a fierce heart held in gentle space. I won't trade my peace for proof, I won't build a life without a roof. I'll rise, I'll rest, I'll recalibrate, strong enough to do, wise enough to wait. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. I won't shrink back to make it easy, I won't stay small to keep things tidy. I'll speak the truth, I'll name my worth, put roots down deep and do the work. And when it's heavy, I won't break, I'll bend with care, then reset my faith. I'll measure growth in more than gold, in quiet wins and courage bold. I'll lead with heart, I'll honor pace, ambition guided by restraint and grace. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. Let it be simple, let it be true, a steady rhythm pulling me through. When doubt is loud, I'll still begin, again and again I'll choose to win. Not by force, not by fear, by showing up year after year. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. Grit and grace, I rise, I breathe, I make my place. Grit and grace, side by side I run this race.